Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today we're going to talk about how to sort of directions really if you want to get screwed, blued, and tattooed on a watch purchase, follow these handy rules. Okay, oh, by the way too, that watch is that one there. Uh, it's a $64 quartz watch that you can pick up on Amazon. All right, you might even be able to get a better price, but you'd be surprised what some people have done. Okay, the first rule is to ignore the movement. Mechanical movements are pretty much the same. Well, in some respects that's true, in other respects it's anything but true. For example, here are a couple watches. Both of them have an ETA 2892A2 in it. One is €560 and the other one is €2,850. All right. Now, but they have exactly the same movement. The IWC gives it a different name rather than saying ETA 2892A2, but essentially that's what it is. And a lot of people say, well, ETAs have some really good movements, and I couldn't agree more. They do. But for some reason, the companies like IWC that has both in-house made or company manufactured movements and ETAs, they always charge a lot more. For example, this one, the one in the lower right there, is €10,200. Okay. What's the difference? Well, it's got an IWC 5011 in it, which is an in-house or manufactured movement. So if you want to get screwed, blued, and tattooed, don't ignore the movements. Okay, moving right along. Get the most popular watch. At one time, I wanted a Tag Heuer or a Breitling because I used to fly, and whenever we'd land at the FBO, a little pilot shop they had, they were advertising Breitling and Tag Heuers, and I thought they were got to be the be all and end all, most popular pilot's watch. Well, if I still had one, I'd probably never wear it. If you have a watch that's really popular and you really like it, that's fine. Okay, but as a rule, try to get what you want, not what is somebody tells you to get or what the most popular watch is. Find out what you like. Okay. All right, lesson number 3. It's okay to take out a loan to buy a watch. It's bound to appreciate in value. Now, the example I'm using here is Rolex. Rolex and Patek Philippe have the very best resale values. If you buy one of those watches, you're going to lose in terms of resale the least amount of probably just about any watch. Okay, I know a lot of people, two in particular, who are very savvy about Rolex watches. They don't particularly like them, but they buy them for investments and they make money on them. They'll buy one that is, I guess, rare or something, but you really have to know not only Rolex but any watches in order to do that. But what I did, I calculated. You have about here's a watch that I went to Bob's Watches, which is to me, I love Bob's Watches because they're upfront about the prices. Is that on this particular sub, the amount that they'll pay you if you have one you want to trade it in is $6,800. Now the amount that if you're buying it, it'll cost you $85.95. Now the difference between that is $1,795. In other words, if you bought it there and then sold it there, your loss would be 21%. So it's the idea that a watch is bound to appreciate in value. You got to be lucky or really know your way around these things. I had a watch that appreciated by $30,000. This is dumb luck. Now, if the watch had depreciated by $30,000, I would have still had a watch I liked. So, I mean, it's something that some people like to do, and some people are really quite good at it. But you take out a loan to buy a watch with the idea of making money, you may get screwed, blued, and tattooed. Okay, number 4, lesson 4. Don't shop around. All the prices are about the same. Here's one. This is using an example of a Breitling Chronomet B01. A B01 is their manufactured movement that Breitling has. It's a good movement, I think. Here's a 44 millimeter, and this is the list price from Breitling is $8,400. Now, I went to Shop Worn, and I found one, Chronomet B01, 44 millimeters, was $49.95. Okay, it is a little older model, but if you look at it carefully, it's got all of the same functions and all of the same indicators on it. It's got the date, the 3 subdials, and it's got the same, the pushers and so forth. They're different looking, but they're essentially the same watch with a different paint job. And a lot different price list. Okay, so that's what you get. You can save a lot of money shopping around. If you don't, that's, you can get, you pay for it. All right, lesson 5, you can get the best deals from individuals overseas. So wiring of money is not a problem. I bought watches overseas. I haven't bought it from an individual. There was this one individual I was negotiating with, and one in Australia and one in Italy. Another one in Germany, and there was something wrong. I don't know what it was, and I never did. They wanted me to wire money. I never did. I have bought from companies, and these are ones that I've talked to guys who they've bought from them, and they're not a problem. But wiring money is that can be tricky. I much prefer using a credit card or something like that, and then you have some kind of connection to it. A lot of people like to use PayPal, or they do it through Chrono24. There are a lot of different ways to do it, but with an individual, you got to be careful. All right. Okay. Well, now here again, there were all kinds of things. One of the things I was very surprised about was that the number of warnings that they had, and some of them I thought were really the opposite of a warning. In other words, they were like, what? What were they thinking? There was this one well-known company written by a well-known watch guy, and he was saying, oh, you must have a certain type of watch, you must have one of these, don't underestimate these watches, don't don't worry about movements. Hey, wait a minute, what's this guy doing? So one of the things you have to be aware of, a lot of the publications out there are dependent on revenue from advertising from watch companies. And so they've got to be very judicious in their advice about buying and selling watches. So anyway, I have bought a watch, didn't pay attention to the movement. I got screwed. All right. It was a long time ago. I never made that same mistake again. Anyhow, listen, I'd really like to hear some ways of things that you think are worth avoiding. How not to get screwed, blued, and tattooed in a watch deal. As always, this is an invitation to subscribe if you like. And until Sunday, when we're having a collection review, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. By the way, this is a watch I have on this Rolf Lang Canatello today. Again,